Hi, I'm Bonnie Kiseno and I'm coming to you from Treehouse Yoga. So welcome to the Treehouse. Today we're talking about Virabhadrasana I, II, and III, commonly known as Warrior I, II, and III. So let's begin by setting you up properly. We'll face the side of your mat, bring your arms out to shoulder height, and separate your feet enough that your ankles are just about underneath your wrists. So you can bend the wrists, and just where your fingers point down, it should point to your ankles. Now rest your arms down, and we're going to turn your right toes 90 degrees to the right. So they're going to point directly to the front of your mat. Now I want you to look at your feet and check the alignment between your right heel and your left arch. So if you could draw a line, or just an imaginary line with your eyes, from your right heel back, it should intersect the center of your left arch. And that's the placement that we want for the feet. Now, because we're going to do Virabhadrasana or Warrior I, we're going to turn the hips and chest until they face the front of your mat. Front of the mat being which way the toes are pointing. So, in this case, towards the front where your right toes are pointing. If you need to, maybe the hips are tight, you may need to turn that back foot in a little bit more. Then we're going to sit your pelvis level. So drop your tailbone down. Think of dropping your the tip of your spine, the very tailbone, down towards the earth and a little bit forward. So you can see how that elongates the spine and keeps you from compressing the lumbar vertebrae. We don't want to compress them, because over time that begins to bring a lot of distress and discomfort to the intervertebral discs. So set your pelvis as level as possible. That for some people may mean that you have to open up a little bit and not be parallel to the end of your mat. So that's what you would do rather than compromising the length of the spine. Allow the hip to open up a little bit if you can't do both simultaneously. Then, once you have your hips set in your pelvis level, you're going to bend the right knee, bend the front knee. Now, making sure that you keep your body lifted. Think of lifting your rib cage up out of your hip as you maintain the tailbone drop down. Now, inhale and take the arms up. If you have very tight shoulders, then keep your hands about shoulder width apart. If not, bring your hands together or interlace your fingers and think of squeezing your elbows a little bit behind your ears and towards each other. And then just bending that front knee as much as you can. If you notice that your ankle is passing your knee, then we'll know that you didn't bring your feet far enough apart. So you just creep your foot forward a little bit until you get that alignment of knee on top of ankle. And eventually, when you're ready, maybe bringing that thigh all the way parallel to the floor as your legs gain the strength. Now, pay attention to the back foot. We want to make sure that the outer edge of that foot stays pressing down. So right now you can notice that I'm lifting it up. So what we want to do is press from the baby toe to the outer edge of the heel. Press it down so that knee is really super straight, really grounding and connecting through that back leg to support you. So we're not letting the back leg kind of go limp and using the front leg only. Both legs working evenly here. So take a few deep breaths here. Allow the strengthening of this posture to happen. And then we'll open up to Warrior II. So right now our arms are up like a 1. Also, it is said that Virabhadra and his many-armed self had his arms up as he was coming after his enemy. And then he opens up to Warrior II, sword in hand, enemy in sight. Yes? So arms are out, shoulder height. And just let the palms face down, unless your shoulders are really tense and drying up by your ears. If they are, just flip your palms upwards. If you notice, I haven't moved my legs or my feet at all. It's only been in the hips and the shoulders that have rotated around now, so they're parallel to the side of the mat and the arms have dropped down. We're still facing front, unless of course it hurts your neck. If it does, then just look straight forward. Otherwise, gazing over the tip of your front fingers. Now from here, we'll take it into Warrior III, Virabhadrasana III. So we're going to press press out of the mat with this foot that's in the back. Just push, shift your weight onto your front foot and start to make a straight line from the top of your head to the back toes. Ideally, the arms are going to come forward alongside your ears as you straighten your standing leg. However, if it's too hard, or if you tend to have some low back issues, bring your arms either out to the sides or right back beside your body is the best if you have low back issues. And then ideally, we're bringing the lifted leg and your body parallel to the floor. If you're not able to do that, wherever you can go and still keep a straight line from the top of your head to your toes that are in the back. So ideally we're here. Then we're going to drop that hip down. So we want to make sure the hip is not rotating out to the side. Instead, it's dropping down. Front of the hips parallel to the earth, front of the shoulders parallel to the earth, and arms either forward, to the side, or back. And then set that foot back down again, and you're ready to turn and do the other side. So I hope this has cleared up a little bit for you, Virabhadrasana I, II, and III, and that you can easily make those distinctions between the three postures. Thank you so very much, and namaste.